tonight on the league action between the visiting Valley Wildcats and the hosting Breton Jets. Here are your starting lineups for the Valley Wildcats. In goal, number 1, Jared Maxwell. Also starting for the Valley, forward number 6, Zachary Banks. Also starting for the Valley, forward number 10, Colin Pearl. On defense, number 12, Thomas Gannon. Forward number 17, Cameron McRae. On defense, number 19, Jackson Webb. And in goal, number 30, Owen Whittier. The Wildcats are coached by Kevin Clark. Starting lineups for the Breton Jets. In goal, number 72, Daniel Labatt. On defense, number 4, Zachary McIntyre. Forward, number 9, Travis Smith McNeil. On defense, number 12, Alex Stevens. Forward, number 25, Boston Jefferson Francis McDonald. And number 27, Matt Phillips. The Jets are coached by Jim Head.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into the number 2 Sport and Wellness Center. My name is Jeff McIntyre for High Button Sports, bringing you an under-16 AAA matchup between the visiting Valley Wildcats and the hometown Cape Breton Jets. Just about ready to get the pucks dropped here. Starting goalies for this afternoon's game for the Jets is going to be number 72, Daniel Labatt, and in goal for the Wildcats, number 30, pardon me, looks like the announcement they made was incorrect, but looks like it's going to be number 30, Owen Whittier. I'll confirm that and get back to you, but just going to hand you off to the PA announcer for the singing of O Canada. We'll be back with you shortly.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for O Canada?
And we're about ready to kick things off here in number 2. Both goalies just getting their creases ready for action. And here we go. Opening draw is scrambled. Finally comes free, tapped ahead by the Jets, sent back down by the Wildcats. McIntyre hard off the glass, and that'll be just outside the line. Sent back in. McIntyre will try it again. Turned over there in the neutral zone. Big hit at center. Turned over to Phillips. He's got a lane to the net. Cut Sharp angle shot, misses the goal. Good angle there by Ringette to keep him to the outside. Dangerous chance along the side wall. He's free for Foss McDonald of the Jets. Looks for a lane to the net. Drops it off to Phillips. That's played to the point, but no one there for the Jets. And Wildcats will come in transition, but after that shift, they'll go for a quick change. LeBlanc back for the Jets. Has one man to beat. He's knocked off stride, leaves it for McIntyre. He'll play it hard around for Crawley. Crawley takes it off the boards, but can't take it cleanly. He's knocked down, and that's going to be the first penalty of the game. Tripping will be the call. Jaden Etheridge, number 15 of the Wildcats, will sit for 2 minutes or less. He took Crawley down along the boards. 18:57 on the clock here. Early power play for the Jets. They control the draw, back to the point. Pemberton, quick shot towards the goal. And that's swallowed up by Witter. Some pushing and shoving in the goal crease, but nothing will come of it. Another face-off inside the Wildcat zone. Phillips digs in for the draw. Wins it back for Crawley. He has it stripped, and the Wildcats will come back shorthanded. They'll gain the line and put it in deep. Here's McIntyre with it. Toe picks, but he leaves it there for Phillips. Phillips back to McIntyre in the neutral zone. He'll take that pass and gain the line. Spins off a check. Has it along the half wall. Plays it back to Crawley at the point. Back to McIntyre on the half wall. Aggressive penalty kill for the Wildcats to this point. That pass in the middle misses, just dribbles by the far post. Crawley regains possession for the Jets. He puts a pass down to the back door. That misses everyone, slides into the corner. Back behind the goal for Phillips. He'll regroup. Back across for McIntyre. McIntyre with a shot. Glove down with traffic in front by Witter. Good movement by the Jets on their first power play of the game, and a couple of good stops from Witter as well. A minute and 7 left on the first power play of the game. This one's chipped towards the goal off the side of the net by Morrison. Simmons comes in to help out, but can't keep it in along the boards. It's cleared to the line, but kept in by LeBlanc. He'll find his D partner on the far side. Back into the middle for LeBlanc. LeBlanc, quick shot. Blocker stopped and punched to the corner by Witter. Shot towards the goal is wide of the net. Rims around. Black will keep that in. Put behind the goal. No one can quite find the handle. Simmons has it knocked off his stick, and it's just going to bounce outside the line. LeBlanc couldn't quite find it. He'll go back in his own zone. Shadowed there by Banks. Dropped off there for Black. He gets hooked, but Banks gets away with the hook in there on the hands. Two Jets collide inside their zone, and there's a chance for Cameron, but he'll put it back to what should be his spot, I believe. No one there for the Wildcats, and that'll do it for the first power play of the game as Etheridge is back on the ice. And that's sent down the ice just as the power play penalty expires, so it'll be an icing call on the Wildcats. 16:51 left in the first. Wildcats survive the first penalty of the game. Draws scrambled, bounces toward the goal, but picked up there by Ringette. He's battled to the boards. Pile up along the half wall. Finally comes free. Played all the way around. Hits a stanchion. Will end up in the middle of the ice, but Stevens can't find the handle. He'll just punch it down to the half wall. McDonald picks it up there for the Jets. Circles the net. Played back to the point for McIntyre. He'll have to wait for it to come. Back to McDonald. Back to McIntyre. McIntyre with the shot on goal. Punched away by Witter. Smith McNeil goes after it in the corner, but possession's changed over to the Wildcats here. Good back check from Foss McDonald to strip that puck, but can't punch it to the front of the goal. Now we have Stevens pinching up for the Jets. Centering pass just off the stick of Smith McNeil, but not on goal. Good forecheck here from the Jets to keep the Wildcats hemmed inside their zone, but it'll come free. McIntyre gets a stick on that and does so again. Can't quite get to the puck. He's sealed off nicely there by the Wildcats, and they'll come back the other way. Two will at least, while the rest change. Bodied to the corner was Terry. And that's played off the boards, but not out. Smith McNeil down in the corner for the Jets. He'll skate towards his target. Can't get it outside is Penny. It's punched back into the Jet zone. They'll have to tag up. Played to the line and out. Gambin will fire it right back in, but he's got men stuck deep. That should have been an offside call, but they let it go. And Pearl is back in his own zone. He'll fire it hard off the glass and out. That pass is off McRae at center. Pemberton plays it back behind the goal for LeBlanc. It's played hard off the glass, and it will just hop over the stick at the line. But it'll be played right back in by the Wildcats. Pemberton will play it hard up. It's off a skate. Now it'll be regrouped up to Crawley. Crawley's got to step in. He walks in, shoots. A shoulder stop by Witter. Rebounds into the corner. Back on it is Penny. He chips it ahead for Crawley. Crawley avoids a dangerous check in the corner, but loses the puck. It's played out to center. LeBlanc will fire it back down. Wildcats trying to get a change in. Puck played up the wall. Terry can't control it, and it'll be played back down inside the Jet zone for Pemberton. Pemberton plays it off the glass and out. That'll hop over the stick at center. No icing on the play. Hard hit in the corner. Puck's fired down the ice by the Wildcats. Icing is going to be the call, just out of the reach of McIntyre. Face-off's going to come all the way back down inside the Wildcat zone. 13:51 left in the first period. Face-off won by the Jets. Back for Black. Black will try a shot towards the goal. It's deflected. Rebounds in there for McIntyre. Quick shot on goal. Rebounds there. Punched aside by Witter. Pass just does get outside the line. Here come the Wildcats through the neutral zone. They'll gain the line. Jets keep it to the outside. Dug out of the corner. Puck finally comes free, but it's chopped off Ward's stick. Keddy in there causing some trouble. And it's chopped outside the zone, but just enough for icing, this time against the Jets. Face off down inside the Jet zone in front of Levat. Face-off's won. Quick shot on goal. Blocked in front by McIntyre and cleared to the corner. He'll pick it up himself there. Spins off his check. He'll skate things out the other way. He'll play it into the zone and go for a quick change. Behind the goal for the Wildcats. That pass misses. Turned over to the Jets. Back to the point for LeBlanc, but that'll hop off his stick and head down the ice. He'll be back for it first. Has Nickerson on him. He'll spin off, play it ahead. That's going to be an icing call if it's touched up, and it is. Long pass, missed Morrison, and it'll go for an icing call on the Jets. Both teams exchanging icing calls in the last couple of moments here. Face-off one to LeBlanc of the Jets. He'll play it around, but not quite hard enough to get there for Morrison. He'll have to battle his man. Puck comes free for the Wildcats briefly. It's turned over behind the goal. Simmons tries to chip it forward. Can't find it in his skates. LeBlanc battling behind the net. Banks comes in as well. Digging behind there in the corner. And he's sealed along the wall. Comes free again for Simmons. Back to the point. Cameron with a shot off the side of the goal. Played off the wall. Cameron gets a leg on it, but it'll be cleared there. Attempt at a big check there by McRae. He just missed it the player dodged it at the last second. It's played down the ice by the Wildcats. Back for it is Pemberton. Pearl in forechecking for the Wildcats. Pemberton will skate things out. Takes a hit along the half wall as he was sealed off nicely. Played to the line. McDonald of the Jets takes the carom and puts it into the corner. Back for it of the Wildcats. The first clearing attempt misses. He'll get another opportunity here. Up to the wing, but he's shadowed by Smith McNeil. Smith McNeil trying to center. That pass is knocked away. Blandon just waiting for the puck to pop free, but it goes the other way. Back behind the goal is Cameron. He's knocked down by McDonald. Both men fall on top of the puck. Played back to the point. Shot by Pemberton. Tipped in front. Wide of the far post. Hit along in the corner. Ross McDonald throwing his weight around this shift. Bottling the Wildcats up. Puck's played around to the far side. It's chopped out, and that's going to reach its target. Good back check there by the Jets. McDonald again, and that headman pass is going to miss and slide the length of the ice for another icing call. Back check was a thing of beauty by Foss McDonald, but the headman pass misses Smith McNeil, and yet another icing call in the early going here. Face off one to the boards, chipped off the boards by Phillips and out. And the Jets will get the change. Gosling goes back for it for the Wildcats. His pass reaches the target, Nickerson, but his backhand pass into the middle hits a set of shin pads. He'll regain possession, gets it over the line. Penny in there trying to disrupt that rush. And it's fed around to the near side here. Puck's dislodged, but sent back down into the corner. Tries to drive the net. Puck was chopped off the stick of the Wildcat there before he could make the move towards the goal. Terry, I believe. And it's flipped down the ice again by the Jets. This time Hudson Crawley in pursuit. Icing's waved off. He's battling his man down to the corner of the Wildcats. And now we have another scrum along the half wall. Crawley and Butters working for the Jets. Put on goal by McIntyre and knifed aside by Witter. Into the corner for Gosling. He'll play it up the boards, but it's kept in by LeBlanc. That's tipped in front. Two great stops by Witter. Battle for it behind the net is won by Penny. Put out to LeBlanc. Shot on goal. That's blockered aside by Witter again. The early star of this one. And the Wildcats gain possession. They'll fire it off the boards. It hits another stanchion. Ricochets into neutral ice. LeBlanc will step up and keep it moving. It's played ahead for by Crawley, but that one is taken over by Pearl. Cohen Pearl gains the line. Tries to get it deep, but it's knocked down by Malik Stevens. He battles a couple of men off of the puck, and it's sent down the ice. Here's McRae. Plays it up quickly to Ringette. Ringette will gain the line and fire it down on top of Levat. Bouncing puck. He's not taking any chances. Holds for a whistle. 8:39 remaining in the first. Early shots on goal. 10-1 in favor of the Jets, with Owen Witter in goal for the Wildcats, standing on his head early. Right off the draw, looks like a penalty will be called. High sticking looks like the call to me. McIntyre got a stick up high. Oh, head contact, pardon me. It's like Thomas Gambin of the Wildcats will sit for 2 minutes or less for head contact. Jets will head back to the power play. 8:36 remaining in the first period. They're currently 0 for 1. Had some good looks on their last opportunity, but couldn't beat Witter. Draws scrambled and off a body and down the ice. McIntyre gets beat to the puck in the corner, but does well to shield it off. Chips it ahead for his man, Hudson Crawley. Here's Crawley with speed through the neutral zone. Gains the line, looks to set things up for the Jets. Good pressure there by the Wildcats to kill a few seconds off. Into the middle was Crawley, but didn't see what he liked. Regroups for McIntyre. McIntyre walks into the slot. Passes back to Crawley. What a stop by Witter! Great setup from McIntyre to find Crawley, but Crawley couldn't beat Witter. He gets his stick on it, and what a great stop. One of his 11 stops in the first here alone. Minute and 22 remain on the power play for the Jets. 7:58 remaining in the first. You're not going to get a better look than that one. Great stop by Witter. McIntyre gets the puck returned. He'll trade places with Crawley. Back to Crawley. He can't find it in his feet. Beats his man Ringette to the net. Into the middle. Quick shot. Wide of the goal by Travis Smith-McNeil. That'll be played but kept in by Pemberton. Played down low. Crawley bobbles it, and that'll be sent to the line off of McIntyre's stick, and it'll dribble down the ice. 55 left in the penalty. To Gambin. Here's Phillips leading the rush for the Jets. Head of steam, gains the line. Dumps it in, gives chase, picks it up. Centering pass. Oh, he fakes it out. Decides to keep it. Now they'll get things set up. That cross-ice feed is off of the stick of Terry, but it does get to McIntyre. McIntyre plays it down low. Into the middle. There's Simmons. Simmons tries to go back down in front. It's caught there by LeBlanc. He'll leave it back at the point for McIntyre. Back to Simmons. Simmons walks in. Shot. Deflected in front. No high stick as the Jets continue play. Possession inside the zone. Back to the point for Simmons. Into the middle for McIntyre. McIntyre thinks about the shot. Loses his man Terry. Walks in. Puts it back to Simmons. Simmons shot on goal. And that is turned aside by Witter. Yet again. This is not a recording. Only 2 seconds left in the power play. And so far, Owen Witter of the Wildcats has stood on his head to keep this a scoreless game. Off the draw, it's won cleanly. Comes outside the line, and that'll do it for the second power play of the game for the Jets. 0 for 2, despite putting lots of pucks on goal. LeBlanc will stop it inside his own zone. Plays it hard off the boards. That's knifed inside the zone, but turned over there to Gosling. His clearing attempt is sent back down behind the goal. 2 Jets in there forechecking. Dug free, but that's kept in at the line. That is just outside the line as Black couldn't quite hold it. Offside is the call. 6:07 left in the first. Face off just outside the Wildcat zone. Here's Black with it off the restart. Gets it across to LeBlanc. He'll fire it down inside the zone. Back for it now. Wildcats make the first man miss. Pass up the boards is good. Ketty will regroup inside his own zone. That's off a stick and outside. It'll land on the stick of Nickerson. Nickerson makes one guy miss. Shot is off a stick of Black and wide of the goal. Turned over on the half wall. Walked into the middle. Nickerson with another chance. A shot. He scores! And just like that, the Wildcats open the scoring. 1-0, 5:39 left in the first. That's Braden Nickerson beating Levat with just the second shot on goal of the period for the Wildcats. But he's left all alone in the slot, and he beats Levat over the gloves. Owen Witter for the Wildcats should get an assist on that one as he stood tall in this first period for the Wildcats in goal. Off the restart at center. Gain the line, fire it in. Wildcats give chase. Puck into the corner. Pearl can't find it. Played into the middle. Turned over there to Banks. Played back down low. Chipped to the center. Smith McNeil can't quite corral the bouncing puck, and it's fired back down there by McRae. Turned over to Stevens. Kept in at the line momentarily by Gosling. Quick chip by Smith McNeil. Turn over to Phillips. Flips. Quick shot towards the goal, but it's off a stick, and it'll rim all the way around. Pearl can't find it. McDonald in there, causing some trouble for the Jets, and it's played back down low. There's Troop. Spins off his check, but loses the puck. McDonald in forechecking. Battling two Wildcats along the boards. Phillips comes in, steals the loose puck. Rebounds there. Shot off a body and wide. McIntyre, what a glorious chance. Puck didn't quite get to the net, I don't believe. Great pass from Phillips to find him in the low slot area. Puck comes free. Smith McNeil walks to the middle. Gets a return pass from Phillips, but it doesn't get to Smith McNeil. And the Wildcats come back the other way. Here's McRae. He's shadowed nicely by Stevens. And the puck will rim around for him in the corner. McIntyre with it now. McIntyre makes one man miss. Etheridge in there. Loose puck into the neutral zone, or pardon me, into the slot area, but McIntyre gets away with it. Stevens plays it hard around for Smith McNeil. His pass is not going to reach its target. Etheridge will pick that pass off. Smith McNeil gets another chance here. McDonald tries to give it back to Smith McNeil, but it's in his skates, and it's turned over again to the Wildcats. Phillips lays a hit. Puck just does cross the line. Kept in by the Wildcats, and they'll get another 3-on-2 rush here. Pass doesn't reach the target and slides into the corner. Big check onto Phillips. Pretty high, if you ask me. A bit of a reverse hit there, but Stevens definitely took the worst of it. And puck will slide down the ice for an icing call. Jets are going to have that tired line back on the ice. I think they're maybe allowing... No, Stevens is staying on. Thought he might have been a little groggy after taking that hit up high in the corner. 3:34 remaining, and the draw is controlled by Jackson Ringette of the Wildcats. He'll play it down to the corner. Pass is sent into the middle, but just out of the reach there of Nolan Breen, and it's turned over to the Jets. They'll come back the other way. Foss McDonald plays it into the corner, gives chase. Cameron wards him off the puck in the corner. It's played up the boards, off of LeBlanc's glove and down the ice. Quick shot towards the goal. First one doesn't make it. Second one may have been off the shoulder of Labatt. Pile up in the corner. Dug free. Nickerson can't find the handle, and it'll come back the other way into the middle. Penny warded off there, and he doesn't get the shot away. Punched at the goal by Butters. Easy stop for Witter. Played back down low. Penny will reverse things to get it back to LeBlanc. He'll have to pinch up for that puck. Takes a hit along the boards from Nickerson. It's played into the middle, and they're saying that's going to be a high stick. That'll stop play inside the Wildcat zone. Face-off's going to come outside into the neutral zone. Jets got their stick up high there on the puck. 2:31 left in the first. Valley hold a one-goal lead over the Jets here. Puck's played in, but sent right back out. Pemberton regains. Can't find the opening, and it'll be sent down deep inside the Jet zone. Back for us, LeBlanc. He's knocked off the puck by McRae. LeBlanc will seal him along the boards. In to help is Banks, but he can't find the loose puck. Played hard off the boards. Penny gains the possession, and it'll fire it down the ice. Saying it's off a body, so icing's waved off. Cameron back for it. He's stripped by Butters. Butters looking for an option. It's off a stick, and Wildcats come back the other way quickly. That's off a stick. McIntyre spins it back for Penny. Penny can't find the opening. Turned over on the half wall. Quick shot. Blocker stopped by Labatt. Another shot off the side of the goal. And what a stop there by Black to negate that wraparound attempt, as the open side was there. And the Jets just do everything they can to get it outside the zone. Wildcats have to tag up with McIntyre behind his goal. He's flushed out both sides. Played hard up around the wing for Crawley. His pass into the middle is chipped inside the Wildcat zone by Penny. Back for it. Inside his own zone is Troop. He finds the outlet pass into the middle. That's off a skate and down the ice. Black back for it. Plays it hard. Gets it to Simmons. Simmons has it roll off his stick. Here's a chance. Terry can't find it. And back for it's McIntyre. He is double teamed in the corner. He'll battle hard to get it back. And he does get away with it as the Jets get it outside the zone. That's going to be an offside call at the line. Actually, they let it go. I can't believe they did, but it's offside by a considerable margin, I think. Wildcats get it outside the zone briefly as LeBlanc will fire it back down while his mates tag up. Pass into the middle there. Fanned on initially. Now he gets it ahead. 1-on-3. Passes drop back for Crawley is there to negate the pass. Never did reach his target. It's sent down the ice. Back for the Wildcats. Sent down the ice. Just off the stick there of LeBlanc. Did well to break up a possible breakaway attempt. Back the other way is Morrison. And that will do it for the first period. After the first, Valley hold a 1-0 lead over the Jets. Shots on goal are 14-4 in favor of the Jets, with Owen Witter in goal for the Wildcats, standing on his head early. We'll be back after the flood for the second period. Talk to you soon. And we're back for the second period of action between the Valley Wildcats and the Cape Breton Jets. After one, Valley hold a 1-goal lead, 1-0. Shots on goal, 14-4 in favor of the Jets. We're about ready to get things kicked off. Here we go. Valley comes straight ahead with it off the drop. Pass onto the back door, into the skates. Loose puck, ripped on goal by Breen, wide of the net. Picked up in the corner by Smith McNeil. Played behind the goal, but that is off the stick of Stevens. Pinched down on there. Well, Valley gets it to the front of the net, but it's chipped outside the zone by the Jets. Quick early press from the Wildcats, and it's fired back down. Behind the goal, Levatt plays it ahead. Smith McNeil can't get it outside the zone. That's a knife towards the goal off of McIntyre into the corner. Puck's defended nicely there, but not outside the zone. McIntyre will strip of his man of the puck. Chance quickly back the other way for the Jets. Smith McNeil looking for a pass into the middle. McIntyre hard to the goal, knocked over and knocks the net off. Face off inside the Valley zone. Valley with a quick push off the restart of the second period, but not able to get much toward the goal. Draw scrambled. Possession comes to the Jets for Penny. Swings it towards the net, but it's taken over by the Wildcats. Played into the middle for Ketty. Ketty gains the line and gives chase. Beats his man LeBlanc. Loses an edge in the corner and stumbles. He's on top of the puck. Finally does come free. Ketty regains possession. Ketty into the middle. Quick shot. Glove down. Rebounds lying in the crease. Just chopped out of the way. And that's sent down the ice by the Jets. Icing will be the call. Well, that made the first stop, but couldn't find the rebound. It was laying there in the crease for the Wildcats to find, but I believe it was Pemberton that dug it out just in time. Good first couple of shifts to the second for the Wildcats. Still a 1-goal game. Banks in to take it. Cleared just outside the line. Played ahead off the stick of Banks. He'll regroup and he'll fire it down the ice. Icing's waved off as Pemberton could have played it. McRae's in forechecking. LeBlanc avoids the forecheck. Gets it ahead to Penny. Penny fires it ahead, but it's off the stick of Butters. And down the ice again, Pearl in forechecking. Pemberton, his clearing attempt is off a stick, gets to Penny. Penny's clearing attempt, turned over to Banks, flipped over to Pearl. Pearl with a shot. Might have hit a stick and wide of the goal. That shot is negated by Penny, turned over to Butters. Butters drops it off. Crawley can't get the puck back to Butters in the slot area, and it's turned over again. McIntyre will play it back down, coming off the bench. Cameron regroups in his own zone, plays it ahead. Turned over in the neutral zone. Possession with the Jets for a moment, but they fire it back in, and it's played hard around. Pearl can't get it by McIntyre at the point. McIntyre puts it on the back door. Simmons tries to find the pass in the middle. Shot towards the goal. Might have been off the side of the net. Pearl regains possession, played to the line. Played towards the goal, and it's knifed away by Witter. Penny back to McIntyre at the point. McIntyre hard pass across for Black. Black's shot is off the body of McRae into the corner. And a 2-on-2 rush coming here if the Wildcats hurry. Into the zone. McRae tries to go wide on McIntyre, has it knocked off his stick. McIntyre finishes his check in the corner. Puck's piled up along the boards. Comes free. Breen. Pass into the middle. Rebound. Shot. They score! Wildcats funnel it to the net. And it's put home. Cameron McRae, number 17 of the Wildcats, beats Levat, who had very little chance on the play. And the Wildcats open a 2-goal lead, 16-37 left in the second period. Here's Black, plays it ahead. Simmons can't pick up that pass. Possession turned over. Back come the Wildcats. Here's Terry off the body of McIntyre into the middle. No one there for the Wildcats. Played ahead off the skate of McIntyre and turned over in the neutral zone. Terry will flip it down inside the zone, right on Levat. He'll kick it aside for Black. Here's Black into the middle. That hits a skate. It'll head down the ice, but Ringette's there for the Wildcats. Backhand pass for Gambin, and he'll flip it ahead. Here's Breen, and that's going to be just offside at the line. Nickerson was a step ahead of the play. 16:03 left in the second period. Valley 2, Jets 0. Shots on goal 14-7 in favor of the Jets, but the 2 goal scoring plays for the Wildcats have been 10 bellers, and they have cashed in on both. Kept in at the line by the Wildcats, played into the slot. Nickerson turns, fires. That's well high and wide of the goal. Played up the boards for McDonald. He can't pick it up cleanly. Breen steps in. He's taken care of by Phillips. LeBlanc will pick it up behind his goal. Leaves it there for Phillips. Pass across. Chipped ahead by McDonald. Here's a chance for Smith McNeil. He cuts back. He's knocked off stride and he can't get the shot away. He's finished hard in the corner. Good back check there from the Wildcats to negate that chance. Headman puck to Terry's. He's knocked off stride. Looks like we have a Jet down in the neutral zone after that hit. Puck's taken over there inside his own zone by McDonald. He plays it ahead. Smith McNeil can't pick that pass up, and it's sent back down the other way. Here's Foss McDonald again inside his zone. He'll try to gain some speed through the neutral zone. He's tripped just inside the line, taken over there by Smith McNeil, but it's knocked off his stick, and it'll be back the other way. McIntyre has Blandon on his hip, played around the goal. Keddy tries to put it to the net, off the body, in front. Rebound towards the goal. Easy save there for Levat. Stoddard came off the bench. Tried to funnel it towards the goal, but it was an easy stop for Levat. Not a whole lot on the shot. Rebound, or pardon me, face-off scrambled. Here's Stoddard. Quick shot towards the goal, off a stick. Keddy picks up the rebound. Can't get the shot through. Tries to put it back to the point for Stoddard. Has that pass picked off. Penny back the other way. Penny tries to beat Stoddard wide. He's shut down. Butters trying to battle it by his man Keddy. Pile up along the boards just inside the blue line. At this stage, if I was the referee, I'd blow the whistle, and they finally do. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Finally, the players are separated. Wildcats will go for a change. Face-off controlled by the Jets, but can't get it deep inside the Wildcat zone. And here we go again. Puck's pinned up along the boards. This time comes free a little quicker. Butters will gain the line, tries to get it deep. McIntyre steps into his man, knocks him down. Puck's turned over to Crawley. Crawley tries to get in, has it knocked away at the last moment. Spins off his check. Tries to battle it towards the front. Played around the boards. Wildcats break out 3-on-2, but they lose the puck along the boards. Crawley finds it. Pass into the middle, just out of the reach of Penny. Fired to an open corner. Penny with it there, or pardon me, Crawley back to the point for McIntyre. McIntyre tries to cross into the middle, does. Shot on goal, blockered away by Witter. Played out, chance coming here quickly for the Wildcats. One man back, shot on goal, knifed away by Lovat. Puck's into the corner. McIntyre will pick that pass up. He'll gain it through the neutral zone. Looks to make a pass, but he'll chip it down and on to Witter and give chase, but Witter will swallow it up for a whistle inside the Wildcat zone. Jets doing everything they can to beat Witter, but have not been successful yet. And the Wildcats have been successful with the transition game to catch the Jets maybe at the end of a long shift, and they've capitalized twice. Here's Terry, just bullying his way through a couple of Jets. Finally stripped of the puck and played to the neutral zone. It's off the stick of Troop. Icing. Oh, they do call it icing. Certainly sounded like it hit Troop's stick. 12:31 left in the second period, just about the halfway point of the game. Black gains possession off the faceoff, plays it hard around, kept in at the line by Gosling, flipped ahead off the glove of LeBlanc into the middle. Breen battling down in the corner. Terry comes in to help out. Played to the half wall, but that pass goes astray, and it's played back down low for Terry. LeBlanc back for it. Plays it up the wing for Morrison. Morrison will bang it off the boards and out to the neutral zone. That's fired quickly back down by Troop. Black plays it hard around, but Morrison had already left the zone. He'll play it ahead, but left there for Troop. Good play from Morrison to come back to that puck. His headman pass hits Simmons. Simmons can't get the shot away, and he's eliminated in the corner by Stoddard. Morrison battling down low. Puck's played around the boards and out. Keddy makes one man miss. Chance here for Etheridge. He's on the backhand, can't get the shot away. Pass to Keddy. He has a chance in the slot, but fans on the attempt. Puck's played ahead, but a little too far for Phillips. Played outside the line by the Wildcats. Here's Keddy again. He'll gain the line and fire it in. First man on it is Blandon. He's knocked over by LeBlanc. Phillips comes in to help out, but has the puck taken away. Centering pass off a stick as Keddy was wide open in front. Two Jets knocked down at the side of the goal. Lovat bails him out. Big hit by Phillips at the point on Gambin, but the Jets can't get away with possession. And it's fired down behind Lovat's goal. Lovat will play it around for Smith McNeil. He can't take it cleanly. Can't find the passing lane to Foss McDonald. And it's put back down inside the Jet zone. LeBlanc has no stick to play it. Smith McNeil tries to get it across to Pemberton. Pemberton just does get it out of harm's way there as McRae takes it over. Put behind the goal. Onto the half wall. Banks plays it back down low. Centering pass is there, but it misses everyone. Back to the point for Cameron. Cameron can't find it. Finally chopped outside the zone by the Jets. Not any further than center ice. Back the other way is the Jets with a chance, and they blow it down. Not sure what the whistle was for. Faceoff's going to come all the way back down inside the Jet zone. Puck may have been touched with a high stick. I'm not 100% sure on that one. We're at the halfway point of the second period. Off the restart. Crawley has a step, and that's going to draw a penalty as he has his stick chopped out of his hand. Probably a good penalty to take as Crawley was away to the races from center on. Jets will head to their third power play of the game. Referees trying to sort out who the penalty was against. Looks like it's going to be Jackson Ringette, I believe, of the Wildcats. Will sit for 2 minutes or less. Jets with another opportunity to break the goose egg on Owen Witter. Wildcats being shown the door as they're not getting away with a late change here. We're ready to get things started. Draws one quickly by the Wildcats, fired down the ice by Ketty. He gives chase with McIntyre, the only one back. McIntyre seals them along the boards, and puck's turned over behind the goal to Crawley. Crawley slaloms through the neutral zone. He's over the line. Has the puck knocked off by Gosling. Puck's played around to the near point here for McIntyre. He'll play it across. That pass connects with Crawley. Back to the middle for McIntyre. Not a whole lot of movement here, but McIntyre to Crawley. What a save as that feed comes across for LeBlanc, the one-timer, and Witter slides across and gloves it down. I've said it multiple times, he's been the difference in this game. That's the second post-to-post save he's made to rob a Jet of a sure goal. .122 left in the power play for the Jets, who are stumped. They cannot find a way to beat Witter. Looks like he's having a bit of equipment issues right now with the pad, just getting things fixed up. Veteran move that gives his penalty killers a quick breather as well. And I think Witter is good to go. Simmons will step in for the draw for the Jets. Wins it to the boards, kept in at the line by McIntyre. McIntyre will try to get things set up for the Jets. Here's Crawley with it, leaves it back for McIntyre. Here, back to Crawley. Back to McIntyre in the middle. Shot off Butters. It'll drift to the boards. Kept in. Oh, actually it hops over Crawley's stick. And the Wildcats with a short-handed opportunity. Trying to kill some time. Big hit by Crawley to knock McRae off the puck. The latest goal scorer for the Wildcats. And the Jets are back in. Here's Crawley. Hill has lots of time. 45 seconds left. He'll walk in. Quick shot. High and over the goal. It's going to rim all the way around. Kept in by McIntyre. He whips it across to Crawley. Crawley has it knocked off his stick by McRae. Pardon me. Too many mix. And it's finally sent down the ice by the Wildcats. 25 left in the third power play of the game for the Jets. McIntyre will gain the line. Tries to cut in. Knocked off stride. Puts it into the middle. No one there for the Jets. Kept in at the line by Butters. He'll play it down to the corner. Pass into the middle is knifed away. Simmons can't get it to the front of the goal. Gambin battles with Simmons along the boards. And Ketty comes in to hold it momentarily. He's got lots of time. Plays it around. Kept in by Butters. Butters plays it down low. Smith McNeil finds McIntyre, but it's off his skate. Chance towards the back. Just out of the reach of McIntyre. McIntyre spins off a check. Plays it down low for Crawley. Crawley with a chance towards the goal. Goes behind instead. He's knocked off the puck. Smith McNeil back to Pemberton. Pemberton, wild shot towards the goal. Flutters wide. Gosling steps up, plays it high off the glass. It's gloved down by McIntyre and played down behind the goal for Smith McNeil. Smith McNeil now plays it into the middle. It's off the stick of Gosling. Backdoor shot. McIntyre's shot towards the goal. Paddle saved by Witter again. It's the third great stop, and that one is turned away on the short side. Loose puck found by the Wildcats. And they'll come back the other way quickly. 2-on-2 rush. Chance here. Short side stopped. And a rebound is stopped by Levat as well. Etheridge with a great chance, point blank. And Levat shuts him down. Not a whole lot to shoot at as he was in so close. He made the first stop on the drive to the net by Blandon as well. That's been the story of this game at one end. Witter's been absolutely excellent, and the Wildcats try to counterattack, and they've been successful at it so far. It's what's given them the 2-goal lead. But Levat shuts that one down, which is a huge stop for the Jets to keep them in this one. So you have a little bit of a break here. Witter's at the bench for the Wildcats. May have an equipment issue. And it looks to be a stick problem. The last attempt from McIntyre may have caused some issues. Not sure exactly what the issue is, but Jaron Maxwell has just been handed his goalie stick as well. I'm not sure if they're contemplating putting him in. Looks like the Jets trainer, Scott Phillips, is going to try to do some work on Owen Ritter. Try to get him back up and running. I'm sure if you're a member of the Jets down there, you'd like to see anybody else besides Owen Ritter between the pipes. He's been excellent this afternoon, but he looks to be ready to go. Face off inside the Jet zone after that latest Levat stop. Face off controlled by the Wildcats, played behind the goal. Black stops that cycle and plays it ahead. Stoddard pinches down. Puck's played ahead but kept in momentarily, and Stoddard gets it to Breen, and he gets it to Nickerson. He's knocked down along the boards. Behind the goal. Played ahead. Just kept in on the half wall. Terry battles his man down low. Breen gets it back to the point. Cameron shot towards the goal. Hits a body and into the corner. Battle along the boards here. Puck comes free. Chopped to the middle. Back to the point, shot towards the goal off the skate of Morrison and into the corner. Breen plays it back to the point. Quick shot off a set of shin pads back into the corner. That puck is knifed but wide of the goal. Another chance here for the Jets. Ward couldn't get to it in time, and it's played back down. That pass is quick. Headman by LeBlanc. Gets it ahead to Ward, and he's knocked off stride. Quick alley-oop pass. It's going to be turned over to McIntyre. He'll play it outside the line. Breen plays it back to his D partner, Cameron. His D-man, Cameron. That pass ahead misses. But they get away with due the Wildcats. Puck played into the middle with some speed. McRae plays it down low. Back behind the net. He'll give chase. Play is reversed by the Jets. Foss McDonald hooked along the boards. Gets away with it. And can't quite get it outside the line as Banks was there. And that is just offside as the flip pass by Pemberton didn't have a whole lot on it, and Phillips had to wait for it. And offside is the call. Phillips was hanging out behind the defense, but a step offside. Draws scrambled. McDonald battles it to the boards. Played down behind the goal. Pemberton back there battling. Puck comes free for the Wildcats, but they can't get it back to the point. Now they do. Troop has a chance. Plays it down low. Pearl sealed along the boards by Pemberton. Pass into the middle. Off the side of the goal. There's a chance coming off the stick of McIntyre, but turned over to Troop. Cross-ice feed, no one there for the Wildcats. Trying to split the D there was Travis Smith-McNeil. Back for it. Phillips strips his man of the puck, but turns it over to Banks. Banks passes it into the middle. Off the stick there. Loose puck. Dribbles just wide of the post. McIntyre seals his man along the boards. McDonald gets it ahead to Phillips. Phillips with a head of steam through the neutral zone. Quick shot on goal. Well high and over the goal. Kept in at the line by McIntyre. Avoids the check from Pearl and plays it down low. Hit along the boards. Phillips, but can't come away with the puck. Gosling gets it ahead to Banks. Kept in at the line. Off a stick. Does get to Foss McDonald, but he can't get it towards the goal. He'll double back. Turns it over at the line, but regroups quickly. McNeil behind the goal. Chopped away from him by McRae. Into the middle. McIntyre shoots. Pad stop. Off the low shot from McIntyre by Witter. Puck's played down to the half wall. Banks takes that. Karam, and he'll skate things out the other way. Puck's played high into the zone. Back for it comes LeBlanc. LeBlanc plays it hard off the boards. That won't get to the target, McDonald, but he'll battle his man. Turned over again and played to the line and out. That's going to drift down the ice. Back forward is McIntyre, and it just does get the line for an icing call. .322 left in the second period. Valley 2, Jets 0. Face-off control by the Valley. They'll flip it high off the glass and down the ice. Maybe another icing call, and it is. Face-off coming inside the Valley zone yet again. Draw scrambled, comes away with it, do the Wildcats, and it's played down the ice again, but good draw weight on this one as it'll dribble down onto Levat. Played to the corner. Blandon plays it into the middle. Taken away there by the Jets. Here's Penny. Penny will flip it high. Pass connects with Crawley. Crawley's over the line. Tries to beat Ringette wide, but that shot is well high and over the net. Penny tries to get it into the middle for Crawley, but turned over again. Etheridge, big body, chips it ahead, takes the hit, gets it ahead to Blandon. Blandon has a lane, he shoots, he scores! Beats Levat over the shoulder, short side, to give the Valley a 3-goal lead, 3-0 over the Jets. 2:38 to go in the second period. And for the third time, the Valley Wildcats strike on the counterattack. Much of this period's been played inside their zone, but they come away with their third goal of the game, second of the period. Off the restart. Puck's played ahead. McIntyre knocks it off his man's stick. Played down into the zone. Levat plays it right to a Wildcat behind the goal. Shot, they score! And just like that, Braden Nickerson walks it to the front of the goal, goes backhand shelf for a 4-0 lead at 2:24 left in the second period. Levat's going to come out of the goal. Number 35, Calix Tornidis, will come in to relieve him. The Jets weren't quite even ready for that restart. McIntyre blocks the shot by Nickerson into the corner. Wildcats trying to center it. Turned it over there into the neutral zone. Quick pass ahead. That shot towards the goal is off a body. Played ahead. Off the stick there at center by Ward. Ward knocks his man over. Has a chance. Puts it into the middle. Redirected on goal, but just wide of the post. Pass out to the middle. Doesn't quite reach its target, and the Wildcats come back the other way. Here's Terry. Stops up at center and flips it cross corner. Pemberton battling Nickerson down low. Puck pops up off the boards. McIntyre finds it. Troop will keep it in at the line. Morrison comes in to battle it out. Now Terry comes in to battle as well. He trips his man, battling for the puck. Puck will finally come free, and it'll be chopped down the ice by Morrison. Icing looks like it's going to be waved off as Breen gets back in time. Wildcats with a chance to break it out. McIntyre picks off that pass. He'll try to get things towards the goal. Plays it down low. Back to the point. Phillips. Shot towards the goal. Right into the crest of Witter. One minute left on the clock. Looks like one of the Jets are being shown the penalty box door for head contact. Number 17, Cole Simmons. He'll sit for 2 minutes or less. Oh, actually, it's a 4-minute double minor for head contact. And the Jets are down 4. Now they'll have to kill off a 4-minute penalty as well. Wildcats are feeling it this period, looking to add to their lead. Back to the point, Gosling. Setting things up inside the zone. Drop off there for Banks. Banks walks in, shoots. Kicked aside nicely by Calix Tornidas, just into the game. Back to the point, Gosling with it. Feeds it across. Quick shot towards the net. That's kicked aside as well. Rebound regrouped by the Wildcats. Puck sent down the ice by McDonald of the Jets. Into the final 30 seconds here of the second. Back behind the net. Coming out quickly are the Wildcats. McCray takes it behind the goal. Plays it to the line. Gosling finds the top part of the umbrella. That pass misses the back door. No one there for the Wildcats. Regain possession though. That shot is fanned on by LeBlanc. And that will do it for the second period of play. After 2, it's the Valley Wildcats 4, Cape Breton Jets, no score. Shots on goal, 22-16 in favor of the Jets. We'll be back after the flood for the third period. And we're back for the third period of play between the Cape Breton Jets and the Valley Wildcats. After 2 periods of play, the score is 4-0 in favor of the Wildcats. Shots on goal 22-16 in favor of the Jets. We'll start the third period with a 3-minute power play for the Wildcats with Cole Simmons in the box, forehead contact. Here we go. Wildcats control the opening draw. Gosling plays it ahead, Ringette. Pass is turned over by Pemberton. Phillips with it. He'll spin and fire it off the glass. Ringette will regroup at center. It's down to Gambin. Gambin just narrowly avoids the stick there of McDonald. Puck's put ahead. Terry back to the point. Ringette takes it there, plays it across. Shots turned away there by McIntyre. Gambin with it, finds Ringette. Pass into the middle, just misses the stick on the back door there of Nickerson. Slid across at the goal crease, but no one there for the Wildcats. McDonald has possession, plays it ahead, out of the reach of McIntyre, who will go in and forecheck, and very odd play by the referee as McIntyre goes in to try and get the offensive zone face-off. Witter holds it, and the referee doesn't blow it for another 2 or 3 seconds. All you're asking for there is the offensive player to jam away at it if you're not going to blow it down. Strange play, referees. Face-off scrambled by the Wildcats, but they come away with possession. Puck's played ahead quickly. Back into their own zone with it. Here's Ketty. He'll gain the line. Knocked off stride by Crawley. Crawley's stick knocked out of his hands briefly. Back behind the net is Blandon. Back to the point. That pass is good. Back down low. Banks down to Ketty. Back up top to Banks. Gosling with a lane, shot on goal, knocked down with the glove by Tornidas. Chopped ahead just to the line, and that's kept in. Banks can't make the cross ice feed there. Plays it down to the corner, but that's chopped away by LeBlanc, just out of the reach of Crawley at center. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the power play for the Wildcats. Puck's played ahead quickly. Etheridge knocked off stride. Puck will dribble down onto Tornidas, and he'll hold that for a face-off. The 18-minute mark of the third period. 1 minute and 1 second remain on the double minor penalty to Cole Simmons of the Jets. Green wins the draw for the Wildcats, plays it back to the point. Nickerson with the shot, turns into a pass to the back door, back to the point. That pass by Banks is fanned on. McIntyre seals his man along the boards. Puck comes free, it's sent to the line, and just does get out. Back to center for the Wildcats with it. McRae feeds it back, and he'll take the return feed. McRae over the line, passes off Ward, but he can't find it. Breen plays it back door. That pass misses. Banks will pick up the ricochet off the backboards. Played back to the point. Fed down low. Pass across. Stopped there by Pemberton. McIntyre will play it off the boards to himself, but can't pick up the ricochet. Banks spins off his man. Plays it over to the far side. Troop can't pick up that pass cleanly. And McRae will have to go into the corner for it and plays it back to the point. Green back there. Played towards the goal. Tipped just wide of the goal. Pemberton plays it hard around, but Simmons was coming out of the box, and that pass never does get to him. That is shot over the glass and out of play by Pemberton. Jets will get a much-needed whistle after killing that first 3 minutes of power play time for the Wildcats off. 16:49 left on the clock, and this one, face-off inside the zone of the Jets. One to the boards, taken ahead. A pass connects with Smith McNeil, but it's knocked off his stick. Foss McDonald in to help out. Taken over there by Terry. Battled back to the point. Here's LeBlanc with it. LeBlanc's shot sails over the goal. Bounces high. Smith McNeil finds it. Can't get it towards the goal. Witter down in the crouching position, blocking as much net as he can. Black keeps it in momentarily. Gets it to Smith McNeil. Ahead for Phillips. Backdoor pass. And that quick shot is off the side of the goal. Witter didn't see it, but it was wide of the net. Kept in at the line. Black plays it into the middle. LeBlanc gathers it there into the middle for Phillips. He can't take it cleanly. Good quick pass by Smith McNeil, but Phillips couldn't find the handle. Here's Black with it. Tries to play it ahead. Phillips comes back to help out. Good forecheck there by Terry. Puck is played ahead off the stick of McDonald. Icing's waved off. Back behind the goal. Played ahead quickly to McRae. He leaves it there for Banks. Banks gaining speed. Leaves it for Pearl. Pearl off the skate of McIntyre and wide of the goal. Played ahead just out of the reach of Smith McNeil. Ringette back for it. And he beats Smith McNeil to the hash marks for the icing call. Good hustle from Jackson Ringette to beat out that icing call, as Smith McNeil did have a step on him. Phillips being waved out of the draw. McIntyre will come in to take it. McIntyre goes straight ahead with it off the draw. Gets it to Smith McNeil. A headman pass connects with Phillips. Phillips drives wide. Quick shot. Tried to go 5-hole, but shut down by Witter yet again. Pass down the ice. Icing's going to be waved off as McRae beats McDonald to the icing line. Battle in the corner. Finally comes free. McIntyre battles his man to the corner. Puck picked up on the half wall. McIntyre goes through his man. Smith McNeil. Quick shot on goal. Big save with the glove. McIntyre tries to go hard to the back post. Can't find the rebound. Smith McNeil heading to the bench after a long shift. Puck's played up the boards. That pass is turned over to Crawley. He waits for Phillips to tag up. He walks in, shoots off a stick and wide of the net. Both teams trying to find the puck after that shot from Crawley. Played out to the neutral zone by the Wildcats. Here's Black trying to squeak through along the boards. Sealed off nicely by Ringette. Played to the middle. Off a stick. Penny can't find the handle. LeBlanc pinches down. Ringette takes the puck off of his stick. Played to the point, but Black has already retreated. He'll play it ahead. That'll be sent down the ice by Pearl of the Wildcats for an icing call. Clean win off the draw by the Jets. Back to the point. Black has his shot blocked. And back the other way will come the Wildcats quickly. Blandon goes wide, cuts in, shot on goal, stopped by Tornidas. He closed up the 5-hole quickly. Played up the wing, but that's shut down as well. Passed into the middle, but just out of the reach of Keddy. And it'll be played around the boards, but kept in at the point by Troop. His shot towards the goal is stopped by LeBlanc. He tries that long stretch pass to Crawley, but that is stopped easily by Gosling. Here's Blandon again. Cuts up, puts a pass to the slot. Too hot to take for the streaking player in the middle for the Wildcats. LeBlanc just plays it up the wall. Turned over to Keddy. Keddy of the Wildcats cuts to the middle. Back to the point for Troop. Troop shot. High and over the goal. That sharp angle shot is taken, kicked aside by Tornidas. Rebound, shot well over the goal. Wildcats doing well, moving it low to high, creating some chances for themselves here. Pass from Penny, finds Butters. Butters pass to the back door. Too many Wildcats there for that pass to connect with Crawley. And here comes Blandon again into the middle. Shot on goal is swallowed up, but played by Tornidas. McIntyre will try to chip it ahead. Gets it ahead to the neutral zone, just out of the reach there of Crawley. He'll gain possession now. Quick shot on goal, but it's well wide of the goal. And that's going to drift outside the line. McIntyre, the only man back for the Jets, has two Wildcats on his hip. Plays it around the boards, but no Jets are there as they're changing. Into the middle comes Terry. He knocks his man down with a big hit, but the headman pass gets to Simmons. Simmons is battled, but no call on the play. Good back check there from the Wildcats, and they do just enough to negate the rush and not take a penalty. LeBlanc with it. He plays it ahead. That pass reaches McIntyre. McIntyre tries to cut in, tries to go inside out, and he's taken down. Then it's going to draw a penalty. Actually, the Jets touch up. Head contact is the call. It's a strange one there. The onrushing McIntyre is getting a 4-minute head contact penalty nonetheless. And the Wildcats will head back to their second 4-minute power play of the game. 11:22 remaining in the third period. Played to the point, kept in by Gosling. Gosling plays it to the half wall for McCray. McCray looks for a shot. Good paddle stop there from Tornidas. And he'll hold for another face-off. Jets coaching staff not very happy with that latest penalty to McIntyre. Off the draw. Black tries to get it down the ice, but he has his stick hooked down. Comes away with it. Are the Wildcats passing in the middle. Taken away there by Morrison and flipped down the ice. Goslin back for it for the Wildcats, looking to get things pointed in the right direction. McCray with it, skating through the neutral zone untouched. He'll gain the line, shot on goal right into the crest of Tornidas, and he'll hold for another face-off. Just about at the halfway mark of the third period of action. Shots on goal are now 24-24. The Wildcats have caught the Jets in the pretty large shot advantage they had earlier in the game. Face-off is won by the Wildcats. Back to Ringette. He almost has it stripped at the point by Ward, but gets it down low. Into the middle, Breen. Quick chip on goal. Tried to go a high glove over Tornidas, but Tornidas gets it into the catching mitt. Ringette again, holds it at the point, plays it back to the corner, just out of the reach there of Terry. Battled up the boards by LeBlanc and swept down the ice by Morrison. 2:55 remaining in the double minor to McIntyre. Wildcats try a cross-ice feed. It's off the stick of Ward. Ward battling at center. Can't get it deep, unfortunately, for the Jets. Ringette being shadowed there by Ward. Gets it across. There's Gambin. He'll skate through the neutral zone. Makes one man miss. He'll gain the line. Has it knocked off his stick, and that'll be chopped down the ice again by the Jets. Ringette back for it. Looking to see if there's a quick up option. Again, shadowed by Phillips. He'll take it behind the goal. Outlet pass is good. Here's Gambin. That's going to be an offside call with one extra move by Gambin at the line. And he's ridden into the boards a little heavy by Pemberton after the whistle. Face-off's going to come in the neutral zone here. 2:04 left in the penalty to McIntyre. Face-off once again controlled by the Wildcats. Gosling plays it ahead, but Phillips strips that pass. Back forward is Troop. He has it knocked off his stick by Phillips. Phillips trying to kill some valuable time on this power play. He'll just pin it along the dasher for a moment. Wildcats break it out. Here's Ketty. Ketty down the wing. Loses it momentarily. He'll fire it in and give chase. Gosling will pinch down to keep it. Played back behind the net. Etheridge, pass out front. Blandon can't get the shot away. And it's cleared to the line where Phillips will battle it inside the zone. Splits the D, can't get it away. Chopped on goal, and Witter gets a piece of it into the corner. Phillips being held up down low. Referees with no call on the play. Ketty knocked down at center. And LeBlanc tries to play it by his man, but turned over to Etheridge. Etheridge shot, scores! Finds the 5-hole on Tornidas. And that will be the 5th goal of the game for the Wildcats, and the first one on the power play. Jaden Etheridge finds the back of the net. 8:26 left in the third. 5-0 Valley. And we're back to 5-on-5 action. Off the restart, Penny lays a hit along the boards. Can't find the puck. Comes free from McIntyre. Played into the middle of the ice. Picked up there by McCrae. McCrae goes wide on Black. Chopped to the center. Scores! Pass from behind the net. Hits a stick and finds the streaking Wildcat down the slot area. I believe it's Banks. Usually they run the bench, but they are not doing so at the moment. I think it was Zachary Banks that found that loose puck and beat Tornidas. 6-0 Wildcats. And McIntyre goes back for it off the restart at center. Plays it across for Black. Black will rim it around hard. Penny can't get a stick on that, but icing's waved off. Banks back for it in his own zone. Plays it across. Played ahead quickly. Come the Wildcats again. Cohen Pearl has it stripped at center. Jets can't quite find it. Now they do. Here's Crawley. Cross ice feed. Just out of the reach of Penny. Penny will spin and fire towards the goal. Loose puck at the half wall here, but off the stick of Crawley. Puck's played down low. Penny battles with Pearl. McIntyre steps up momentarily. And Stoddard will take it down low. Crawley takes the loose puck. Walks to the middle. Shot. Wide of the goal. Puck's battled to the corner. McIntyre knocks McCrae off the puck. Back to the point. Quick shot on goal. Deflected in front. High stick is going to be the call. Negated now as they touch up. Back to the point. Shot on goal. And that is gloved down by Witter. 6:58 remaining in the third. A little bit of a push there by the Jets to try and break the goose egg, but Witter was equal to the task. Chopped towards the goal off the draw, but Witter gloves that down. Face-off won by the Wildcats. Played off the boards and out. The back for it is Stephon LeBlanc of the Jets. He'll spin off his man. Play it out to center for Smith McNeil. Plays it across. That'll connect with Foss McDonald. He's knocked down. And it was basically a clothesline if you ask me, but no call on the play. Back the other way come the Wildcats, but that rush is stopped in its track, and Pemberton will turn it back, but his pass misses. Icing's waved off for some reason, not quite sure why. Wildcats will flip it outside the zone. Pemberton at center has his one touch fanned on, but Phillips regains. Plays it out to Ringette. He waits for his men to tag up, and actually he wasn't even close, and a bit of a late call by the referees there, but now Phillips and Ringette are going to have some words. Ringette did something to Phillips. I think it might have done something to the goalie. And tempers are flaring. It was certainly behind the play, but Ringette's a defenseman. I believe he chopped at Calix Tornitas' stick. I heard something down there, and that incensed Matt Phillips of the Jets. He went right after him. Things are starting to boil over here. 6-0 game with 6 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. Looks like Phillips and Ringette have both been shown the door. Their afternoons and evenings have ended. Referees are just trying to sort everything out. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back shortly. And there's not very many players left on the Jets bench. They're a little short-handed as it is, but Travis Smith-McNeil and Andrew Penny are in the box. Matt Phillips has been shown the door. He's out of the game. Jackson Ringette is in the box for the Wildcats, so he hasn't actually been officially removed from the game. May just be a 2-minute minor, not quite sure at this time. But it's going to be a 5-on-3 in favor of the Wildcats, which is very strange given the situation in the box. Off the restart, shot on goal, redirected, stopped by Tornitas. Looks like the net's off down low, but the referee hasn't noticed it. Ward picks it up, tries to skate it through the neutral zone, can't do so. Played down low. Back for it is Black. He'll reverse the play, take a hit down low, but it's turned over to Terry now. Terry tries to play it down into the corner, gets a second chance, played back to the top for Troop. Troop across to Gosling. Gosling down low is Breen. He'll cycle it down. That pass doesn't reach the target. Kept in at the line by Gosling. He finds his man on the far side. Shot on goal. Battled to the corner by McIntyre. Turned into the middle. Shot high and over the goal. Knocked out of the air by Ward, and he'll just chip that out to center. Kill a little bit of time. Here's Troop with it. Plays it across to Terry. Terry gains the line with some speed. Tries to go wide on Black. Black cuts the angle off. McIntyre shuts that centering pass down. Black will play it to the line, but Gosling keeps it in. Here's Terry with it. Terry, backdoor pass, gets through. Shot on goal. Big save from Tornidas on the back door from Nickerson. 4:46 on the clock. 6-0 game, 38 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3 advantage here for the Wildcats. One back to the point. Cameron tries to find the cross-ice feed to Ketty. That pass misses. Loose puck gathered up in the corner. Jam play, McRae shot. Big save by Tornidas. And Ketty and McRae go hard to the net, and the Jets defensemen take exception, as well as Tornidas, in a 6-0 game. You know that's what you're taught, but you are going to get a push and a shoving match every time. Off the draw, back to the point, McRae on the half wall, and there's going to be a delayed penalty on the Jets. Looks like a tripping call is going to be made, and that's going to be Hudson Crawley of the Jets. Tripping's the call, but he's been assessed a 10-minute misconduct as well. He's being shown the door. And that's just going to increase the penalty killing time for these tired Jets players. 14 seconds left in the 5-on-3 advantage, and then the Wildcats will head to a 5-on-4 advantage. Sorry about the stoppage here, folks, but timekeeper trying to do his best to keep track of all these penalties. 4:22 on the clock. And the Jets are sending another man to serve the Hudson Crawley penalty. Isaac Ward will sit. There's almost as many players in the box as there are on the Jets bench. You know you're in trouble when. And we're ready to drop the puck. Cleared down the ice by LeBlanc off the face-off. Back for it is Banks. Plays it ahead, but that's out of the reach of its intended target. McRae has a lane to the goal. Walks in. Shot off of the glove of Tornidas and then off the side of the goal. Puck ricochets to the slot, and it'll be sent down the ice by Pemberton. Back for it is Cameron inside his own zone. Avoids the forecheck of McDonald. Puck's played ahead to Banks. Banks through the neutral zone, over the line. Drops it back. That pass across is off a stick. Knife towards the goal and chopped aside by LeBlanc. Played to the half wall, but Penny can't find the handle there. Battle along the boards. Lots of slashes going, but they're undetected. And now a very silly play. And it'll finally be touched up as retaliation call has been made. Play's getting a little on the silly side out there now. LeBlanc's down on the ice, and one of the Wildcats tries to play leapfrog with him. Ketty for the Wildcats will sit, and for the retaliation, Stéphane LeBlanc for the Jets will sit as well. .318 left in the third, which feels like an eternity with all these penalties and scrums after the whistle. Minute and 8 seconds left on the initial penalty. McIntyre cuts up at center. He'll go for a bit of a skate now. Has it chopped off his stick. And there is going to be a very weak slashing call, but I think that's a makeup call if you ask me. Heading to the box now, looks like Blandon, number 22 of the Wildcats, who slashed McIntyre on that latest rush. And we'll play a little bit of 4-on-4 here until the next penalty, that is. 3:04 left on the clock. Straight ahead with it go the Wildcats. McIntyre taken down as he lunged for that pass, or that chip out, I should say. Played hard off the boards. Linesman just avoids that one. And it's played down the ice. McIntyre behind the goal. Tries to beat his man. Turned over to Nickerson now. Nickerson with the man in front of the goal. If he sees him, can't find him. Takes a shot instead. Tornidas shuts it down. All Nickerson has to do there is get his head up and has a man wide open in front, but instead takes the sharp angle shot. Face-off controlled by Gosling of the Wildcats. He plays it down to Breen off his stick behind the goal. Backhand shot, that's shut down by Tornidas. And it's played down the ice, at least to center, and fired right back down. Tornidas stops behind the goal. Pemberton with it there. Pemberton trying to sort things out. Gets it ahead to McIntyre. McIntyre with lots of room to move through the neutral zone. Has the puck knocked away briefly. Plays it back to the point for McDonald. McDonald will take it outside the zone and regroup. Plays it across for Black. Black gains the line. Has the lane to the goal. Quick shot on is wide. Terry picks it up along the far wall. Has his stick lifted in the neutral zone by Morrison. Regains possession. Shot just wide of the far post there by Terry. Puck's played ahead, but that's just barely going to reach the target of Ward. Pass in the middle. McIntyre has it in his feet, but can't find it. And that'll be cleared up and over the glass by the Wildcats. 20 seconds left in a brief power play for the Jets. 1:25 left on the clock here in the third period. Puck played hard off the glass, kept in at the line. I think that is Butters. Played down low. just chopped to the corner. McRae will pick it up in the corner now for the Wildcats. He's battled down low by Penny. And that's going to draw another whistle. That'll do it for the power play. And the Coincidental Miners are over to Ketty and LeBlanc as well. They'll head back to the bench. With any luck, we've seen the last penalty of this one. Only 1:04 left. Off the restart. Wildcats into the final minute of the game. Play it down the ice. Icing's waved off. Back forward is Nickerson with Black on him. His pass off the linesman's skate. And the Jets try to come in transition, but Simmons can't pick up that pass. Ringette back in his own zone. Plays it hard around. Butters is going to keep that at the line. Quick shot on goal. Kicked away by Witter. Rebound into the corner. Battled out by Pearl of the Wildcats. He'll flip it to the middle. Nickerson now. His shot's blocked there by Butters. Butters looks to skate back the other way. He'll cut to the center. Has a shot off a stick and wide. Butters into the corner. Takes a hit up high. Bodies are going to be flying as we're into the final 10 seconds. Both teams will be smart to just head to their respective benches. And that will do it for this one. Final score, Valley 6, Cape Breton Jets 0. Final shots on goal are 30-28 in favor of the Wildcats. Thanks for tuning into this one. My name is Jeff McIntyre for High Button Sports. Have a great evening. Talk to you soon.